Hello, welcome to the Healthy Alternatives podcast. I am Dr. Christine Sauer with DocChristine.com. Today's show is a recording of my radio show of the same name. Enjoy! Good afternoon, this is Dr. Christine Sauer, your host of the show Healthy Alternatives, here on 97.5 CIOE FM with live stream on communityradio.ca every Thursday at 12 noon Atlantic Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in today. In this show, I will talk, mostly with guests, about all aspects of health, healthcare and wellness, from conventional to alternative and everything in between. My mission for this radio show is to change people's lives for the better by informing them about different options to get and stay healthy and well, so they can choose for themselves which options might work in their case. And if you feel you're stuck in a dark place, I want to tell you, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Today, I'm again with my teammate and fellow health coach, Jennifer Gogel. Welcome to the show, Jen.
Glad to be back.
That is wonderful. And today, we thought we'd talk a little bit about skin health, and what nutrition and essential oils and the right topical treatment can do for common skin problems. I know you had quite some experiences with acne. Tell us a little bit about that.
Where do I begin? Well, I've had acne since, as long as I can remember, probably, 16, let's say, high school. Something that, I've always believed that it's, on my dad's side of the family, my brother always had acne, cousins. So just, never really thought much of it other than these specific, explanation that it's in your blood type thing. It's hereditary. So,
and I would say it certainly is, there is a disposition to get acne, but I wouldn't say it's hereditary, but it's a disposition that people have.
Yeah, exactly. But like you said, you're not necessarily stuck with it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So, really spent the majority of my life, I suppose, going back and forth the dermatologist. So, taking everything from birth control pills, tetracycline, minocycline, different topical ointments, facial washes, all those types of things. Finally, when I got to university, it was getting really bad. It was probably the worst, I guess, that it's ever been. I saw a doctor at Student Health who talked me into Accutane, which is really the be-all, end-all for acne sufferers.
It is very effective
in
drying out the skin and in treating cystic and severe inflammatory acne.
Exactly.
But it has severe side effects.
It does. And for me, I was lucky. It wasn't too bad. My lips were really dry, would peel, but, there are a lot more severe, like other than everybody gets a dryness, but it wasn't too much worse than that for me, thankfully. I had a little bit of problems with my vision, but was also from excessive contact lens use.
And it's very important that people keep on birth control while they take it, because it will hurt the embryo. It will make your child sick.
That's right. They make you do a pregnancy test every month just to make sure. And you do it for 6 months, and then you have to be off it, I think, for 6 before you could do another round of it. So I did it for 6 months, and I forget how much longer after, maybe a year or something after, I went back to my dermatologist at home, and he said, it didn't work because it wasn't a high enough dose. She didn't give you as much as what you needed. So I did it again at the quite a bit higher dosage of it, and it worked. It definitely worked. My skin was quite a bit better, cleared up, and I was hoping at the time that would be the end of it. I think gradually over the last 10, 15 years, after that, started to kind of creep back again a bit. When I was pregnant, my face was the best I think it's ever been. And
now, if that's not a hint, what's the cause of it?
Yeah,
I don't know what is.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was wonderful. During both pregnancies, my skin was really good. But then after I noticed that my skin changed quite a bit, and I started getting acne more so on my neck, which I never ever had before. It was mostly on my cheeks, around like my chin, around the mouth. So I decided at that point, I was kind of tired of doing all the different drugs and creams, and all they did was dry my skin out. So I decided to go, I looked into a natural route, and I saw a naturopath. I did some food intolerance testing, and it came back that I was intolerant to dairy and refined sugars. So I cut that out, and well, pretty much gradually, and noticed quite a big difference, but it would still flare up quite a bit, especially like hormonal. So I thought,
around your period, so before the period.
Exactly. So I thought maybe I'll. It had been a while since I had seen a dermatologist, so my family doctor sent in a referral, and I thought, well, I'll try it again. Maybe things have changed. It's been 15 years. There could be new stuff. So I got all prepared and kind of took note of everything that I had taken over the years and different treatments I've done, and saw a new dermatologist. And I went in and she took a good look at my skin, and she said, yeah, it's cystic acne. It's hormonal. There's not really anything you can do. Basically that, you're stuck with it. But Accutane is your best bet. Like that's the one that has the best results. And, I had told her up front that, I did Accutane twice. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to, I'm getting, older. It can lead to liver issues. Not something I'm willing to do again. And, she said, she kind of, urged me to think about it a little bit more and, come back and see her. Needless to say, I didn't go back. I had told her that I saw a naturopath and did the
diet.
Yeah. And, I just kind of asked her what she thought about that with the dairy. And she said, no. Dairy, she said, food doesn't, really have, there's no scientific proof. The only studies have found that there may be a slight difference between, I think it was 2% milk and skim. That can lead to acne a little bit. And I walked out of there and I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She just didn't spend any time with me to talk about.
So she didn't even ask you if you had any experiences with or without it?
No, nothing. It was just, cystic acne, Accutane. See ya.
Yeah, and I mean, I, as a conventionally trained dermatologist myself, I practiced in Germany. I saw quite a few acne cases, and I had basically the same approach because that's what you get taught in school.
Right.
In medical school, they teach you acne. Yes, there's no studies that there is studies done, and the results was it was not influenced by nutrition.
Okay.
But they did not really compare people that ate a whole food, organic diet, with somebody that ate junk food. So the studies in my books are flawed.
Right.
And I did studies myself during my dissertations and my husband's dissertation, my ex-husband's. And I must say I came to the conclusion that you can explain nearly everything with a study, And many studies are not only flawed, but will be falsified.
Right.
And I've seen colleagues that falsified their studies just to get them published.
Right.
Or to get funded by the pharmaceutical industry. And now that is a sad thing, but it happens.
It is, and it does.
And I don't want
People
to
don't
discredit
realize.
scientific studies. There are very good studies out there, but I always tell people you have to be skeptical of what you hear in the media.
That's right.
And what anybody tells you, even what I say, because even Buddha said that, because you are the boss of your health.
Exactly.
And you are the best judge of your body.
Exactly. Nobody knows your body better than you do.
You are so right. And the best approach in my books is see what works.
That's right.
And I like what Dr. Phil says. Everybody knows him from this. How does it work for you? I like that. And it's so true. That's a good question. How does it work for you? And if cutting out conventional dairy works, hey, good for you. Do it.
That's right.
And everybody really should eat no conventional sugar or less
That's right.
conventional sugar. Now, there is no real intolerance for sugar. It's not in the case of an allergy. There's no allergy to sugar. Sugar is a natural substance.
Right.
But the isolated sugar that we eat without any nutrients,
Yeah, it's just so refined.
it doesn't add nothing to our nutrition.
Exactly. There's no value.
And it hurts us.
That's right.
And in my books, conventional dairy, nowadays, the cows are kept in concentrated animal feedlots. They get fed grain instead of grass.
And it's GMO grain.
That too. It contains all kinds of toxins.
Exactly.
And cows are never meant to eat grain.
No.
Cows
They should be grass-fed.
are herbivores. They want to eat
Exactly.
grass. And it is not natural to feed them grains. And they get hormones on top of it.
Exactly.
And what they do, what they never did before, 200 years ago, when you study the history of it, what they did with cows, when they had a calf and they wanted the milk, they waited 6 months before and after they were pregnant, before they used the milk for human consumption.
Oh, okay.
Because of all the hormones that the cows produce, they don't even
Right.
have to be added to the milk. But cows themselves, when they get pregnant, as every pregnancy knows, produce large amounts of all kinds of hormones.
That's right.
So they are in the milk. And nowadays, the cows get milked immediately
Yep.
until the birth of the calf,
Yep.
and 3 months after the calf is born.
Okay.
So the modern milk has way more hormones than it ever had.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Oh.
And you think about the amount of milk that an average person drinks is
It's
quite a bit.
significant. Yeah. Many people, especially children, get a lot of milk to drink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the problem is also that this treatment of the cows, if you believe in energy medicine or not, in my books, when the animal you eat from lived an unhappy and unnatural life, the food will have that energy in it and won't be good for you.
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But that is certainly something that modern science doesn't support.
No, definitely not.
But hey, 1,000 years ago, they believed the earth was flat.
They did.
Yeah. And they wanted to kill Galileo for saying that the sun is not
That's right.
that the earth is not the center of the universe.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Things
God
change.
knows what in 500 years will be current science. And they will
Yeah.
say, oh, in the Stone Ages in the 20th, 30th century, God knows what happens then, what they said. And this brings us to the end of the first half of today's broadcast here on 97 CROE FM Community Radio. Please tune in after the commercial break for more fun with Jen Gauguin. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to Healthy Alternatives here on 97.5 CIOE FM or on the web at communityradio.ca. I'm your host, Dr. Christine Sauer, and I am here with today's guest, Jennifer Gauguin. Thanks for being here again, Janet.
Thanks for having me again.
So in the first half, we talked a little bit about acne and your experiences with conventional medicine, and that it kept your acne going for now 30, 40 years.
Pretty much. It's not 40, but...
Well, no, you're just 40 now, so you didn't have it from birth, I assume.
No.
Some people do, but it's rare.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just thought, why does our conventionally trained dermatologist not learn anything about that acne? For one, can be influenced by food and by the toxins in the food.
Exactly.
By the hormones in the food, by the antibiotics in the food.
That's right.
By the gut health or the microbiome. And the bacteria in the gut, as we said in the first show, they make out most of our cells.
Yeah, that's right.
95% of our cells are bacteria that live in us and on us. And that is quite fascinating. So we have to cultivate them.
For sure. Yeah.
And I find what we do often is that we give antibiotics internally and externally to treat acne, which is effective in the short run.
Yes.
But I truly believe in the long run, we have to nourish our skin bacteria and get the good ones going.
100%. Yep.
That's why I propagate probiotics, which actually have been proven that children that have peanut allergies, when you just give them probiotics, 70% can eat peanuts again. Now, don't try that at home.
No,
a peanut allergy can be deadly.
Yes.
If you want to do it, discuss it with your doctor, especially if it's a serious allergy.
Oh my gosh.
But that is a scientific study, and we discussed the benefits and problems of scientific studies in the first half. And I find what helps for acne, what I did after I learned a little bit more about natural health. I was a naturopath in Germany too, which is possible in Germany quite easily compared with here, where you have to study everything over. So in Germany, you have to take a 6-month course to be a naturopath when you are already a physician.
It makes much more sense that way.
Yes, and
much more.
It opened my eyes. And I thought, oops, maybe we should try a real good biological yogurt.
Okay.
And that works on the face, a nice yogurt pack. But it has to be organic yogurt.
Right.
And it has to be a yogurt that hasn't been pasteurized.
Right.
Many yogurts that you buy, even if they say biologic, when you look at it, they're pasteurized.
Yeah, that's right.
And they don't contain any living strains anymore, so they're worthless.
Yep.
And harmful because often they contain a lot of sugar. So the only yogurt I buy now is organic, plain, full-fat yogurt.
Right.
Greek is okay, or regular yogurt. It's not much difference unless the Greek yogurt is just basically strained regular yogurt.
Right. Okay.
And I find that quite effective. Also, natural substances that you can use topically. A paste of cucumbers. If you don't mind the color, you mentioned before, turmeric.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
That's
if you don't mind the yellow color.
Yeah.
Or black cumin seed, like it is in the Rain Soul supplement. Great stuff.
All anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, all anti-inflammatory, and it actually works.
That's one of the things that I've come to learn, that, acne is inflammation, and inflammation leads right back to your gut health.
Yes.
So it was only when I really understood the problem, like for me, with the dairy and the sugar, I guess, that eating, I was always a big milk drinker, cheese, my favorite, so I've had a lot of dairy my whole life, not realizing, and it was only, since doing the course and talking to different people that I realized that my body can't properly break down the enzymes that's in the dairy, and then it stores it as toxins. And for me, the toxins come out in the form of acne. For other people, it comes out as eczema.
That's right. Eczema, psoriasis, autoimmune diseases.
Exactly.
It's all linked to the inflammation caused by the destruction of the gut flora and the gut health that we cause by toxins. Antibiotics are not just the antibiotics we take from the doctor, which some of them are life-saving. I'm not against it.
Oh my gosh.
But after an antibiotic, you should always fix your gut.
Right.
And often we overlook that many toxins in the environment, like the glyphosate, was originally an antibiotic or still is an antibiotic. So if we eat foods high in glyphosate, and 95% of the foods nowadays are, all GMO foods are, we destroy our gut flora.
Exactly. And that's why we're getting these conditions. It's why you hear a lot more about them than you would have like 20 years ago.
Allergies are rampant.
Exactly.
And no wonder the cause that I always say of all the allergies, and yes, it's not scientifically proven, but it's very likely. And there are studies that think that it's that make it plausible that when we eat those toxins and get the wrong bacteria, we get what it's called leaky gut.
Yeah.
And leaky gut is still not a term that is accepted in conventional medicine, which is a shame.
Yeah.
And that means that the cells in the gut move apart.
Right.
And when the cells move apart, food particles
leak
that
out.
we are normally not noticing, that get broken down normally before they reach the immune system and the bloodstream.
That's right.
Bigger food particles reach the lymph cells, the immune system. And the immune system looks at it and said, I don't know what that is. I better react to it.
Yep.
And whoops, we have a food allergy or sensitivity.
That's right.
And not all food allergies are the immediate type. The immediate type are best known. The peanut allergies, you keel over and are dead.
That's right.
That's a typical
Swollen
peanut.
tongue.
Swollen tongue.
Exactly.
Yeah. But many allergies are slowly delayed type.
Well, right now I've been dealing with my youngest son, my 5-year-old, back in the fall when he started school.
Yeah.
Started with this little rash on the bottom, on the soles of his feet. Started on one foot. It was really itchy. Took him to the doctor, and, they thought it might have been a plantar's wart even, one doctor thought. Anyway, it progressively, after, a couple of trips to the walk-in, to the IWK, came to find out. He finally got to see a dermatologist. Turns out it was the same dermatologist that I saw with my acne. The chances of that, but anyway, he's got this severe form of eczema called dyshydrotic. And his little feet, he missed 2 weeks of school. Yeah. They blistered. They peeled.
Very painful.
He couldn't walk. He was crawling around on the floor, and they couldn't believe, that it was so bad. They've never seen it in a 5-year-old, and our course of medication and that we're still dealing with. I mean, they gave him,
of course, steroids,
cortisones,
are helping fast, which is appropriate to start with.
And we had to clear up the infection.
Yeah.
He had to take it and had to both topical and internal. And when I took him back for a follow-up there just before Christmas, and the dermatologist came in and she said, are you using anything different on his feet? Because I had told them that I was using some of the essential oils before, because I wanted to look at some natural options. And she said, "Are you using anything natural on his feet?" And
What a question!
I thought to myself, "What is wrong with this?" Well, it just made no sense to me.
Anything natural? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have said, "Yes, I'm using water." Or in the summer, I'm using sand and mud and sea and ocean water.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And they recommended like bleach baths for them, like Javex in water. And I just thought, I can't do it. So I used some tea tree.
Yeah.
So it's, there's a lot of other alternatives out there.
Tea tree oil is fine, or what also is very good and inflammatory and fast working is long brewed black tea.
Okay.
And of course, cool down or chamomile.
Right.
Very good anti-inflammatory.
Right.
Frankincense is anti-inflammatory.
For sure.
There's many essential oils and natural substances that can heal inflammation.
Yep.
Not only on the skin, but also in the gut and in the body. And the rise of autoimmune diseases, skin diseases, allergies is all related to our modern lifestyle.
That's right.
It's not just the genes. It is epigenetic.
Yes.
That means you have a disposition and through your lifestyle, it gets brought out.
That's right. Yep.
Because years ago, we didn't have that many allergies.
No.
We didn't have that many autoimmune diseases. We didn't have that much cancer, heart attacks, strokes.
No, not like now.
Diabetes, whatever. It's the modern lifestyle.
Exactly.
Wow, It is amazing and nice experiences. It's always fun to talk about it. And I hope I never said anything that unimaginable, like, did you put anything natural on your skin? Not that it's inappropriate to ask what you put on it, because essential oils can be allergenic.
Exactly.
That is totally correct.
Yes.
But she should have asked, what did you put on? Any essential oils? Oh, well. But the distrust of anything natural is sad.
It's just discounted.
Yeah,
it
really
is.
Discounted.
Yeah,
we know better, and I hope the listeners slowly learn a little bit more about it. Right. And make the decision to educate themselves about and try it out and see what works for them. Ask questions.
Yeah.
Hire a health coach. Doesn't have to be us.
No, that's right. There's a lot of qualified people out there.
Yes. Ask questions and find out for yourself. And this brings me to the end of today's show. Please don't hesitate to contact me with any questions, thoughts, comments. My email here is Christine, ChristIstine, @communityradio.ca. And I'm always grateful for feedback. I also want to extend a special thank you to today's producer, Jim Francis. I'm your host, Dr. Christine Sauer. Tune in next Thursday on 97.5 Community Radio with live stream on communityradio.ca for the next episode. Goodbye and have a great day.